Uploading music is not a release strategy. If you really take this music business serious, then you have to have a plan. You got to have a strategy behind your release. So we're going to talk about digital distribution. Okay, so this is what I really want people to understand. Streaming is not the most lucrative way to get your music out there. It's kind of like you're kind of just, you put it on all the streaming sites, you're kind of just throwing it out there, but it's good for people to be able to hear it, but it's just not the most lucrative way. What we've been talking about is building a brand for your artistry, finding your audience, right? So you know who your audience is because we've done that research. So we want to get directly to your audience. You want to get directly to your audience as an independent artist. Like that's what you want to do. So how do you do that? You want to go directly to them with the release, okay? And that's how we're going to release the song. We're going to release the song directly to your fans. And that's what it doesn't matter if you have 10 fans or 10,000 fans. They will be the first ones to have access to it, and we're going to let them pay whatever they want to pay for it. Yeah. We're going to let them pay whatever they want to pay for it. And that's the thing about it. So it's about community. It's about being able to allow your fans to contribute and be a part of something that it's exclusive to them. Okay. That's the wave. That's the future because social media is so crowded. Streaming platforms are so crowded. There's hundreds of thousands of artists dropping music on all these streaming platforms literally every day. Okay. So how do you set yourself apart? And that's what we've been talking about since week one is how to set yourself apart because that's why branding is so important because you're finding out who you are, you're finding out what makes you unique, you're resonating with the people who can relate to you, and now you have built an audience. And now it's time to release music, it's time to release this product. And how much sense does it make to, I'm going to release this product to the whole world, even though it's this group of people, it's this audience that has been behind you and backing you and watching you and really being an ambassador to this point. So it really only makes sense to release it to them first, give them first access, allow them to pay what they want to pay for it, and enjoy the product to the point where other people have to get it from them if they want to hear it. And I would let that marinate for a while. And then later down the line, if you want to drop it on streaming platforms, go for it. But we want to build true fans. We want to build a following of people that are really engaging with you, an organic following of people that are really engaging with you. That's the difference between being an independent artist and just trying to be a celebrity. You know, if you're just trying to be a celebrity, then you don't care. You just want everybody to see you, you just want everybody to hear you. But if you're trying to actually have a sustainable career as independent artist, like that's likely to succeed or likely to be able to do this for a living, then you need to have a core audience that supports you on a regular basis. And it doesn't have to be a million people. It could be 1,000 people could have you living a very great lifestyle and just being able to provide value to those 1,000 people. If you can just get 1,000 people that could spend $100 on you throughout the year, whether it's tickets, it's streaming, it's new music releases, merchandise. If 1,000 people could spend $100 with you throughout the year, then you've generated $100,000 in a year. And even now in 2026, $100,000 in a year, that's livable. When you're thinking about your release date, try to find a time that is not in conflict with anything that, you know, could take people's attention away from you, of course. But at the same time, you kind of got to pick a date and go for it because you never know what could be coming up, what could be happening, right? So the timing, you might want to think about like what season you're dropping it in, maybe or what particular day of the week. At this point, any day of the week can work. I mean, you want to find out what's best for your fans, I guess. You know, like that's the thing about timing. It's kind of catered to the atmosphere that you've created or the anticipation that you've created with your fan base. You know, if they're demanding it now, like you've been having them waiting too long, then don't make them wait any longer. You know, let's get a release date and let's put it out. And make sure you put some thought and time and effort into your cover art. It's important. to convey the message that you want to convey. Your cover art does a lot, like about your brand. I mean, that's going to be attached to the song forever. So make sure that your cover art is something that's dynamic and it stands out and it's unique to you and it like matches your brand aesthetic. It matches everything you've been doing up until this point and it communicates that because that's what your artists have been waiting for, right? They've been watching your brand aesthetic and you communicating in different ways. So now they're waiting for all of that to develop into this musical product that you're dropping. So the label, the packaging of that needs to kind of represent the fact that this is me musically personified. So some key points I want you to take away is every release should be planned. Put adequate planning into your release. Make sure that it is organized and structured. Okay. Next thing. Remember this. Cover art influences clicks. So a lot of times that's what people are going to see. They're going to see the cover art first. So make sure that it's something catchy and make sure it stands out. Pre-release momentum matters. And you start your pre-release momentum the moment you let people know you're an artist. That's when you start building them anticipation. And then like the closer you get to a release, the more you reveal about the music. But make sure you're building it up. And it's a slow build up to the release. Like everything you're doing. Like in the beginning stages of the build up, you don't even have to talk about the release. You don't even have to talk about the music. You're kind of just setting the stage for it to come. And that's how you truly get people to buy in when it's like they've bought into you already. So at that point, it almost doesn't even matter what the music sounds like. I'm gonna listen because I've already bought into you as a person. Okay, now I'm gonna show some industry insight. I'm gonna give you an example of an artist that used direct to customer release to release his music directly to fans before he put it on the streaming platforms.
What if artists start selling their music and merch directly to their biggest supporters before it goes on streaming platforms? Now, we've already spoken about this multiple times. We've already spoke about it with the Russell campaign. Did a whole video on that. Done a couple of other mentions about this topic as well in some of the videos that we've already done in the past few weeks. But this is really a game changer. And I think the key thing here is noting that not only is it about selling music and merch directly to fans initially, but it's also about allowing those sales to be chart eligible. Now, we did a video on Taylor Swift last week and YouTube and Billboard and how supposedly her decision to premiere her music video Opalite on Spotify and Apple Music before YouTube, 2 days before, was heavily driven to the fact that YouTube is going to start taking its data out of Luminate, out of Billboard, so those views, that consumption on the platform won't count toward the Billboard chart. So why would you want to throw all those views away and not have them count for the chart, right? This is something that Even have already looked at and addressed and are beginning to unlock for artists and now clearly for Universal. So what is Even? Well, we know Even, right? We've seen Even. We have been following them for a long time. I was personally an ambassador for them. I had a couple of artists sign up through my ambassadorship to Even. We've been in contact with Even, and they are basically a direct-to-fan platform, a direct-to-fan commerce and engagement platform. And it's basically built to help artists sell products, sell experiences, sell merch, sell access, exclusive content straight to their supporters before streaming or while counting toward the official sales chart. And I think it's been, there's been initially there was a lot of confusion. I've spoke about this already, but with Even, the whole concept was that we can work in conjunction with the labels. It's not about replacing record labels. It's about maneuvering and rejigging campaigns and how we could actually work in tandem with record labels. And so the idea is that you monetize the superfan first because they can't wait. They need access, so they're going to pay for access to your music before it goes public on streaming platforms, right? So why not monetize that process? Why not allow for you to be able to make the most of that from a campaign perspective, from a marketing perspective, from a business perspective. Why not make the most of that yearning and that desire for your super fans to get access to your music, to your stuff, right? So that's where Even came in.
Skip to this part right here where they talk about Cole's rollout specifically. It says Cole's team and Interscope Records have used Even as the infrastructure behind multiple direct-to-fan campaigns, including the 10th anniversary of 2014 Forest Hills Drive and the pre-release strategy for The Fall Off. Both projects leverage Even's white label solution to power exclusive music and content, paid and free community experiences, and direct-to-fan commerce within a dedicated fan destination. The 2014 Forest Hills Drive campaign helped return the album to the Billboard Top 15 a decade after its original release, demonstrating how sustained fan engagement can extend the life cycle of a project. Building on that foundation, the rollout for The Fall Off used similar tools to deepen fan relationships and drive early participation ahead of the album's official release, reinforcing the value of owning the fan connection alongside streaming. The Fall Off debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart this week.
Damn, so that they just literally showed how that it works. They showed that it works. It says The Fall Off debuted at #1 on Billboard 200 chart this week. So from doing the deal with J. Cole 2 years ago, from him them bringing back the warm up. Was it the warm up that they used on it? Oh no, it was Forest Hills Drive. Okay, so 12-year anniversary on Forest Hill Drive.
All right, so in this week's assignment, we will upload your song to the distributor, finalize your cover art, and set the release date. So once we get it uploaded, we'll set the release date, and then we can start thinking about ways to build more momentum and anticipation for the release. And if you tune into the live stream, we will be going over all of this stuff. I can even probably do a tutorial where I'm showing you how to do it live. Also, if you come to the Fairgate, we'll be finalizing the cover art and helping you set the release date. So if you haven't already, make sure you sign up to the Fairgate and come through, because anything you're not able to do at home, the Fairgates is set up for you to come be able to do it with us in person. And you could also set up other sessions outside of the Fairgates, but the Fairgates is like that free event that we have set up for everybody in the community. So everybody in Preheat University. So that is for you. And anything else we could do, don't hesitate to let us know. And I'm looking forward to getting things going with the promotion campaign for these releases and stuff, because we really gonna be showing the world what we've been doing. And we're gonna have some releases dropping, and it's gonna be serious. We're gonna flood them with the content, we're gonna flood them with the music, and we're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep this rolling, y'all.